In this video, I'm going to talk about a guard passing concept that will help you possibly have a better direction on where you want to go in regards to your guard passes. This applies to practically every single guard pass. And this is the concept of being ahead of your opponent's knees, being in front of their knees. And what I mean by being in front of their knees is, let's say Russ is here, right? Just straighten his leg for me. Is being in front of the knees in between their hip and their knee. If I'm in between their knee and their ankle, I'm not in front of their knees. I'm behind their knees. So this is in front of their knees. Now the reason for that is because he needs me, most of the time he needs his knees to be popped out to get some sort of guard retention. That's usually the case more often than not. They need their knees to be free. So I want to basically keep his knees kind of like behind me or trap them so then that way I can beat him. And let me just show you some practical examples so in that way you can get a clear idea of what I'm talking about. So let's say we're here like this, right? I'm inside Russ's De La Riva guard. I came through and I went for a simple leg drag. Boom, here, right? I came through and I wasn't ahead of his, so right now, if you look, you bring your arm down, I'm not ahead of his knees, all right? I'm behind his whole entire body. I'm right behind his butt. So if I'm here and I drop down, he can pull his knee out, start driving his knee, put pressure into me. It's hard for me to keep as good control, but if he turns his hips back and I put control in front of his knee now, right? So now I am ahead of his knees. Just bring his arm down. I'm ahead of his knee. My arm is now in front of his knee, in between his hip and his leg. Same thing. Now when he goes to do the same thing, it's much harder for him to move. Same concept applies if I'm inside his reverse De La Riva guard, right? So we're here like this. I'm inside his reverse De La Riva. I clear out. I come through, boom, and I fold him. Let's rotate. So if I folded him down, so I'm here like this. Let's say I wasn't ahead of his knees, right here. He has the ability to bring his knees out and up and start moving. I might be controlling his upper body and so on and so forth, but he still has more leg movement. But if we were here again, and I folded him, right? So I came here, boom. Here I folded him, and now I brought my elbow in front of his knees. Now when he goes to do the same thing, I have more control of him. I'm able to create more pressure. I need to do other things. I can put pressure on his knee, so on and so forth to complete the pass. But being ahead of his knees helps me be one step closer to getting control of his hips. That's why we want to be above the knees, because when we're above the knees, we are closer to the hips. Because if you watch the completing the guard pass section in the Grapplers guide, I talk about hip control. Hip control is huge. So we need to be ahead of the knees to get hip control. Whenever we're passing, get past their knees, because then you're one step closer actually completing the pass. Let's say we're like this, and I do like an X pass on him. So I go to do the X pass, right? I come here, boom. If I didn't make it ahead of his knees, he's going to be able to move. Easy. But if I make it ahead of his knees, here, now when he goes to move, I didn't even do anything. It's not like we were fighting super hard, but by me being like 3 inches forward and being ahead of his knees, it automatically made it harder for him to recover his guard. If we go to like a stack passing type of situation, or we'll do like an over-under pass. So if we rotate this way, we're here. I'm going for an over-under pass. Here, my hand is on his knee or my arm is on his knee. I'm ahead of his knees. Now, when I say ahead of his knees, I don't mean my whole entire body needs to be ahead of his knees. I need to have some sort of control above his knees. Ideally, perfect world situation. So I'm here like this, I'm coming through, boom, go, get my pass. But let's say I come through and I go and I can't, he pops his knee out. Here, he's going to be able to possibly recover. Now I need to control his toes, push his knee so I can get ahead of his knees and beat it. So being ahead of the knees isn't necessarily about initiating the pass. It's about being a step closer to finish the pass. So if you want to be a step closer to finishing the pass and getting closer to the hip, work on being ahead of their knees. It's the same concept of controlling the person's hips, but it's kind of like a step right before it. So you initiate your pass, you get ahead of their knees, which gets you closer to their hips, you control their hips, and maybe you either complete the pass or you also need to control their head as well. So add this concept to your arsenal of brainstorming, and then if you're having trouble with passes, maybe this is a problem that you're having. Figure it out. If you need any more advice, post below and I'll try to help you out.